match is Theme International versus Rookies. They're playing this round as well. That's going to be for third place. There we go. Hans changes it up. That's going to be for third place. There we go. Hans changes it up.
Yes.
Not a surprise. There we go.
Catalan?
Doesn't want that boring game.
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
It is a Catalan.
No checks on b4s. And Nepo, what's Nepo's?
Nepo plays the classical line, yeah?
DC4 and A6, not even B5, but A6.
A6, A4.
It's remarkable how he changed from being Grunfeld and Naidov to like super classical.
Yes. Well, I have been involved a little bit in this transformation, but yes, that's another story.
Wow, I like the fact that Hans differed with his first move. You know, basically saying he doesn't want, you know, the same outcome as yesterday. He wants to get a game.
But it's anyway a very solid position. Yeah,
Yes.
it's rock solid.
Then some of these positions from these Catalans, I would argue that for Blitz, like black is even more comfortable because you don't have to do much. Like
You just boom, boom, boom.
There you go, A5, knight to A6, and sometimes trade on F3 and just hover around. Yeah.
A good old system. Yeah, bishop F4, bishop D6, queen C1. Yeah, it was the only critical move for a very long time.
What do you call that system?
Well, it's a classical. I had it against Dingley in 2017 in Riyadh. In the rapid section, I actually showed some very important preparation with black back then. And since then, there are a bunch of games for this line.
3, knight to
Well, Nepo is playing very quickly and confidently, and he's built up like
Almost a minute.
almost a minute advantage on
Almost
the clock.
a minute, yeah.
So Hans didn't exactly catch him out in anything unfamiliar.
bishop G5.
Queen 8. And you never know with Nepo that this is now preparation because he also has brilliant preparation, but he also experiments. He plays anyway fast, even if it's his preparation, even if it's not. He always keeps the opponents in the dark. And unfortunately, I have no good news. I don't have the games.
Yeah, so queen E8, and sometimes in this line, like strangely, the A4 pawn might be in danger.
Okay, Niemann just played rook E1.
Yeah, it's the typical way. White wants to play E2, E4. And yeah, H6 usually kicks the bishop back to D2.
H6. Are we scared of bishop takes anytime?
Well, now with the knight on d5 and Hans is taking his time. He is a little bit surprised that he's given this chance, but no, he retreats. Jan takes on c3.
Probably taking with the bishop, or I don't know, the queen is also able to take. Pawn can take. It's kind of a big decision.
Right.
Pawn takes, maybe there's knight b6.
Knight b6, a5, knight c4, right?
Maybe I should go with c4 and sack that pawn. Oh, he's like with the b pawn, and yeah.
Bishop e4.
Bishop e4, yeah, professional.
And of culture, yes,
yeah.
b4.
Okay, let's go c4 though. We kind of have to push one of these pawns. Okay, he went to a5.
He starts
Okay.
with e5, yes.
Interesting. Queen e7 and c4. Right? I mean, feels like, okay, no, he
Knight
doesn't.
h4, so...
Knight h4, different.
I have the game. Finally, I have the game in the system. The computer says everything is fine. Both sides can be happy. 0-1, which basically means 0-0. Typical Catalan position, very solid.
Yeah, after the trade of two pairs of minor pieces, Black's like lack of space is not such a big problem. So I think Black's position looks very solid. He's also up a lot on the clock, like a minute and a half.
Yes, c5. Yeah, the question was which break should appear. Yeah, c5 is the most thematic. White goes e4, very principled. cd, cd. Some rook c8. Eventually, Black also would love to transfer that knight from d7 to c6. But bishop b4, a classy move.
Still, you know, the b7, the backwards pawn on
Yes.
b7 is still a problem in Black's position. I mean, I have to say I would pick white if I
Yeah,
had to choose.
because you are super solid, nothing can happen to you, but Black is also solid. Knight f6. It's like a semi-Tarash now.
Yeah, Hans has
Knight
spent a
f4.
lot of time on like not super important moments in the opening, and now he's a lot behind on the clock. That could be an important factor here.
Yeah, and Jan is already targeting the d4 pawn. He's trying to set up rook d7, rook a d8. Yeah, rook b6. He's targeting the b7 pawn. Jan will... Okay, Jan even goes for simple rook a c8. So he will defend it.
Okay, he decides to push the
D5.
pawn to d5 before that pawn becomes a problem. I kind of like that move. Hans, I don't think he's really in a position to win this game with his time situation, so he should be thinking about not losing.
It's
41 seconds versus 2 minutes, yeah.
Just a little too much of a time edge to give up to Nepo.
But Nepo always has these time advantages, yeah? That's his big trademark.
So
No matter what.
7 is an option. But how serious is it?
Yeah, Hans... But no, Hans goes for e5, the most principled. Okay, he
Oh,
sacrifices the pawn.
Then a6 is targeted, but also...
e6 somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh, what an approach by Hans.
But okay, f2 is hanging as well, so black has also his counterplay with queen c5, knight e4.
But e6 is a big threat, right? E6, rook d7?
Okay, to rook d7.
You can't take e5 because knight d3. And then you
Wow.
take on e5 defending the d7 rooks and there won't be any intermezzos. Rook d7. Queen c6.
c6.
Tricky. Yeah, where's that rook supposed to go now?
Well, now the queen is free. So
Because rook d5, knight c3. Fork. 10 seconds.
the queen's free, so you can go queen g4.
He goes for queen g4.
You have some ideas of
Knight
knight f5.
f6, knight f6, ef, rook takes e1, then queen takes f6, but it's still very mess. He
Rook
goes
takes d5, rook takes d5. Wow, and then c8 is hanging.
Explosion of tactics.
So now if the pawn takes, it's queen c8. Now, what queen c8?
But it was interesting that Nepo did not spend any time calculating this knight f6 option.
Well, it was a bit unusual, you know, knight going backwards. He might not have even have seen it.
Yeah, but he had almost 2 minutes, yeah? That's why, with few seconds, of course not, but... And nothing's lighting up. He blundered something.
Rook takes.
Knight f3 check,
So he's getting the rook back, but
king f1,
the
then knight h2.
checkmate.
Wow, he's winning the queen.
He's blundered the queen, yeah?
Wow.
Knight f4. And now, without those pawns, it'd be a fortress, but like that,
black is winning, yeah?
black must be winning, yeah, because now at some point g5 and like the whole thing should collapse.
Oh, that's the problem when you have so little time, then you can just blunder a crazy tactic like this.
f3,
Queen f3.
f3, and the knight is just like, forget about rook being hanging, it's just the knight is trapped by
Knight is
itself.
trapped, yeah.
Rook d6. Aha, so Hans kind of makes an argument that, yeah, okay, at least I'm getting rid of this pawn, but 3v3 is of course winning with the queen.
Yeah, h5, h4 is coming.
Can't really do much. You can pick the a pawn anytime, I guess.
Hans still very low on the
Very
clock.
convincing, yeah.
Another
He went down
e5
to 1
pawn.
second on that move.
Yeah, another e5 pawn can be cashed in.
Queen a1, yeah, you take that pawn.
Well, just queen takes a5, but he's just pushing this.
He decided to collect the h pawn.
And then
That's it.
and king g6.
7.
King g7.
So if you somehow... Ah, yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Let's go to the next board between Duda and Tabatabe. That one is still having some...
Ragnanda has also won against Brandon Jacobson,
So that means...
but Rosenstein lost to Mero. Okay, and what is this? Rook c7 check. Duda is winning. Just like always. Then